I remember being 8 years old, and my teacher said, you guys, to the class, we have to love ourselves. To love yourselves. And I was like, what's that? And I said, well, I don't love myself, Miss Davis, but I love my grandma. And she said, oh, honey. Oh, she said, you can't love anybody else unless you love yourself. So you have to love yourself. And I said, oh, well, I don't love myself, Miss Davis. And that's fine, because I love my grandmother so much. And I was 8 years old. Anyway, that has to stop. So this is my attempt to love myself. This is my best attempt at taking my life back. So many things have been taken from me. And I'm not just talking physically, because I think I've come to find out that I see why the generational curse hadn't been broken in that family line. And I'm going to say that family line because I am cutting myself and my son off from experiencing this mess anymore. But I see why it keeps going. You don't see one of my siblings on my post, and the one you did, my mom's daughter and his daughter, you saw her, if you did see her, attack people on my page. And then say, if I'm going to tell the truth, tell the whole truth. I had no idea what she was talking about. And so I sent to my mom what she said. Because my mom said, oh, well, she's just upset because you said they had a great life, and only you and you were the only one who didn't have a good life. I said, that's not what I said. I said they had a dad. They had a father. They had a dad. I had a monster. I had a disgusting dog monster. I said, did she not have a dad? Did my brothers not have a dad? I'm not here to tell anybody else's story. I'm telling mine. I did all I could do to protect her when she was a child. Moving on. I want to say to people that do care about victims of child abuse. I had a friend tell me, I always knew there was something that you weren't telling me, and you caused us trauma. What? Okay. And I had family members say, just be silent. Don't say anything. What? I haven't said anything for 43 years. And guess what? You didn't say anything either. Nobody cared. Now I have another family member who said, Jules, grace has to be given here. He's somebody's father. He's somebody's grandfather. Are you okay? I'm the only one giving grace. I'm the only one handing out grace. I hand out grace when I go to my siblings' weddings. I hand out grace when I go to the baby showers. I hand out grace when I used to go to my mom's church to support her. When I cry all the way to the service and cry all the way home. I hand out grace every time somebody wants to say his name. Not somebody, but my mom, or whenever they just got to casually say his name in my house, or casually say his name around me. I'm handing out grace when I come home and I can't be a mom for a week because I'm down in the dumps, because I'm in this. That's why so many people, when y'all say, you're such a great mom, Jules, you don't understand why it's so hard for me to receive that. Because I know that my son doesn't have a mom for a week after I'm experiencing some mental anguish. I know my son doesn't have a mom that's not present. Even try. I know my son doesn't have a mom, even for a few hours. If I see a beautiful canopy bed, I had a beautiful room with the worst memories. Ah, you know what? I want to say thank you, Uncle Jimmy. He's a minister at that church, and he is a good man. He was a good man to me. Yeah, I was a little girl. He had watched him to babysit us for some reason. My mom probably was having a baby or something. He stayed the night and watched us, and I went to take a shower, and he was calling me, like after I got out the shower, because he had me dinner. He's calling me and calling me. I was so scared. I was so scared. And he comes upstairs and he's like looking for me. And I ran and hid in the closet. And I didn't have on any clothes. So I got out this shower and I was just huddled up and he was looking for me. I wouldn't say a word. And he found me in a closet. And he told me, he said, oh, and just backed up real quick. He said, oh, I'm sorry. Just get dressed and come down and have dinner. And do you know that was the first time I realized what was happening was wrong? What had been happening in my home was wrong. Because Uncle Jimmy made it really not normal for what I was going through. Because of his reaction was, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to offend you. I don't want you to be scared. I want you to know you're safe. And I had never known that. So anyway, I just want to say thank you, Uncle Jimmy. You're so solid. And anyway, I love you. And that's why I always let my son hug you. Not let him. I let my son hug you because he loves you too. And Aunt April, we love you guys. I just want to say I didn't share this so that my mom's youngest daughter could be embarrassed or hurt. I didn't share this so that my mom could be embarrassed or hurt. I shared this so that I could be free and my son could have a mother. I became physically ill and I had stopped having the ability to think straight. I stopped having the ability to remember things. I stopped having the ability to walk. You guys don't know this, And it was interesting to see all the friends leave too, but nevertheless, that I don't care about that. I had to fight for my life so that my son could have a mom. And a mom that's able to walk, a mom that's able to run, a mom that's able to laugh, a mom that's able to remember, a mom that's able to be here for him. And my doctor sent me to a neuropsychologist. And long story short, it was supposed to be 6 hours, right? So the paperwork, the amount of testing that was supposed to be done, it was mountains high, like from here to here. And after speaking to me, he said, I have to ask you a question. He said, I don't do this normally. I never do this, is what he said. He said, but I have to ask you a question. Tell me just a little bit about your past. And I instantly was like, for what? Why? Por qué? For why? And he said, I need you to do this. I have a feeling about something. And he said, I don't want to offend you, but I just have a feeling that you're okay, that there's nothing wrong with you. That's it. He said, but I don't want you to think, I think you're faking. I don't want you to think that your symptoms aren't real and what you're experiencing. I am sure that whatever you're dealing with is real. I just want to see something. And so I started telling him about me being abused as a child. And he also said, you don't have to go into detail. Just tell me a few things about your childhood. And I told him that I was abused as a child. He said, okay, got it. And the paperwork went from like all the way up here to this much for the testing. He said, well, you're definitely not going to be here 6 hours. I don't believe so. He said, now, should I need any of this paperwork, if we find that things aren't going the way I see them going, we will bring things back as needed. Long story short, nothing came back. Other things left. This man said to me, listen, I don't do this, and I don't say this to clients, but I have to say this to you. This often, what you experienced as a child often happens to people like you. What? Beautiful people with an amazing spirit who are supposed to give back to the world in a major way. That type of thing happens to y'all. And he said, I hate to say this because I know you're going to be hurt. He said, but there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. He says, nothing wrong with your memory. There's nothing wrong with your brain. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. He said, the only thing that's wrong with you is what happened to you. He said, it's in here. The thing that's wrong with you is in here. And you have to heal that. He said, and your life will become your life again. So he said, your symptoms are real. They're really happening. You're really experiencing them. He said, it's because your brain can't take anything else. And so your brain is compensating for the pain. So I didn't tell my story so my family could hate me. I didn't tell my story so I can be an embarrassment to them. I didn't tell my story. I told my story so that there will be not another me in the world. And so that there would not be another person like my mom in the world. Like, people could learn from what I've been through. And so that my son could finally have his mom. That's why I'm telling my story. And it's so crazy. All the church people, most of the church people, some of them have inboxed me, and they just like, oh, why are you on Facebook? And my mom said, like, I don't want to be a part of our dirty little, the dirty little secret. I said, I'm the dirty little secret. I'm the dirty little secret. That's what y'all not getting. And this little bit of whatever y'all been dealing with for a month is nothing compared to what I've been dealing with for 43 years. But I didn't do this so you could be in my shoes. Like, one time